It's time for three things with Coach G. Number one. Hey, it's getting to be that time of the year where you should be working on whatever your goal is going to be for the season. Some of you are asking, like, Coach, I've never run high school cross country before. How in the world am I supposed to have a goal for it? Here's the thing. There are a lot of goals and things that you are going to want to individually accomplish during this season that don't really have anything at all to do with performance metrics. Now, sure, I know everybody's goal should be to run like as fast as you can and do as good as you can. But beyond that, there's so many different things that you can get out of this season that will help you not only athletically, but just as a young person who's growing and developing your skills to be a more well-rounded person and feel great about all the time and energy that you have spent and early mornings all summer. And by the time the end of the season rolls around, you'll feel great about what you've accomplished. So, setting a goal. What kinds of things might be a goal that's not just run fast? That's still a good goal. But let's look at a couple other things that would fit under this criteria. So some of you, your goal might just be to finish the season healthy. You've had a history where you've had injuries. You have not been able to complete seasons feeling like 100% or when it got to be go time at the end of the season when it really mattered, that you were able to perform at your best. So your goal might be to compete healthy for the balance of the season. That would be a terrific goal. How about for somebody whose goal is to start to really work to develop some leadership skills? You may feel like that's kind of a direction that you want to go based on other things that you're doing at school or aspirations that you have professionally going forward, that you feel like that you need to really hone in and get better in your leadership skills. And even if you don't see yourself as a natural leader, developing leadership skills are always super important. You're going to run into situations where, even in high school, where all of a sudden you've got a group project and there's four or five of you who have a task that you've got to accomplish, and nobody wants to step up and be the leader. And I can promise you situations like that never work out good. So there may be times when you feel like that you're compelled because you want to do well and you know your grade is riding on the work of the entire group, or you may need to take charge and develop some sort of leadership skills to make sure that everybody is bought into whatever the project is, that there's deadlines associated with things, that you're keeping things on track, that everybody has an equitable share of the workload that's going to go into it. Um, Developing leadership skills is something that you could do in cross country for sure. Um, Ways that you could be a leader. We'll talk about that in a minute, but that's definitely a skill that you could develop with cross country. Some of you might just want to be more confident, like gain confidence, like feel better about myself and be able to walk to starting lines in a way that's like, I'm no longer afraid, like living my life afraid kind of stinks. And meets are supposed to be fun. And I want to be able to finish this season feeling like I'm much more confident and that I can look at doing difficult workouts, that I can look at doing races, and maybe it bleeds over into other things that are going on. Maybe if it's like a big test or it's a big project, or maybe you have to get up and make a presentation or a speech in front of the group. And that's the kind of thing that would normally make you nervous. Maybe one of your goals is to be um, more gain confidence in yourself and your capabilities. And again, that's something that you can do during this particular cross country season. So you should be thinking about a goal. Because when all things are said and done, and you've spent hours and hours and hours doing cross country between now and the end of October, first part of November, you want to walk away feeling like I've accomplished something that I'm proud of. I've I've arrived at a destination that is the destination I wanted to go to, because you're going to end up somewhere anyway. So you might as well get to where you want to go. You should have a goal. You should have a goal in pretty much everything that you do. It's important that you take charge of your life. Uh, Look at whatever the environment is, look at whatever your individual skills, your blessings are, your strengths and weaknesses, and determine like what you want to do to be able to guide your life onto a path that feels like it's a win for everybody. So that's number one. Time to have a goal. Number two. Okay, so you've done some good soul searching. You've really thought about what it is that you might want to accomplish, and that's a goal. Problem is, a goal without a specific action plan that you are committed to is not really anything. It's a wish, it's a dream. Look, we're not Disney princes and princesses here. Things just aren't going to magically happen in your life because you wish that they would. You have to be able to be dedicated to doing something about it, having an action plan, something that you're committed to, something that you will try, even if it's uncomfortable. So, if, for example, let's walk through some of these things that we talked about before. Maybe your action plan is your goal is to become a better leader. How can you be a leader at cross country practice? Lots of different ways. So, number one, there's opportunities to jump up in front of the group when we're doing drills, when we're doing core, to take a leadership role in that, kind of grab your group, get them on task, get them moving in the right direction, come up with the ideas, demonstrate and show the kind of drills and teach people the right way to do things. Um, a great way to show leadership, especially for our athletes who've been around for several years, is just connecting with our newer and younger athletes. Go up and talk to somebody who you don't know and just tell them, like, hey, how's cross country going so far? Do you have any questions? Are there things that you're just kind of not sure about yet? Um, is there anything I can help you with? You do that kind of a thing, that definitely will improve your leadership abilities. Person may come back and say, like, no, everything's fine. I don't have any questions. It's all good or whatever. But if you open up to somebody and say, like, look, I'm here for you if you need me, and I am a good resource if you have questions or if there are things you're not sure about. Maybe that person's just shy and they won't do it initially, but sometime later on they may have a question or may get beyond their shyness, and if they know they can reach out to you, then that is being a good leader. Leading by example is a terrific way to lead. Just making sure that you're on time, early to practice, that you do what you're told when you're told to do it, that you have a really good attitude that you're modeling and demonstrating for all the other athletes on the team. You're not complaining about, like, oh, it's hard or it's hot or whatever. So there's lots of different ways to develop leadership skills. So you can come up with a list of all these different things. If your goal is to remain healthy, this is the stuff we talk about all the time. You might come up with two goals. Number one, I'm going to sleep 8 hour on average, 8 hours a night between now and November, and I'm going to make a goal to do that. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to set an alarm on my phone at 9 o'clock every night. And when that one goes off, the phone goes off, the computer games goes off, all that other stuff goes away, and I'm getting ready to go do what I need to put myself to bed. So, lots of different goals. Some of you, again, especially if you're really, really new, you may not have any great ideas on what actual action plans you need to take to be able to reach your goal. In that particular case, reach out. Your coaches obviously are going to be a good source of information for you. Your teammates, especially the ones who've been around a long time, you may be more comfortable asking them a question than you would, your goofy old coach. Your parents, in some cases, could be a really good source of information for you to help you kind of really nail down a firm action plan, something that you're not just going to write down on a piece of paper, but you're actually going to commit to it because you really do want to reach your goal. This is your goal. This isn't coach's goal. It's not mom and dad's goal. It's not your friend's goal. It's not your teammate's goal. This is what you want to get out of things. So you need to commit to an action plan that you are going to try to do. You're not going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. We all kind of fall away from whatever our plan is. But if you've got a goal and an action plan, and if you mostly follow those, you've got a much better chance of getting where you want to go than if you don't have any goal at all, or if you've just got a goal that's like a Disney princess dream without any action plans associated with it. So, number two, you've got a goal. Now you've got to have some action plans to be able to get where you want to go. Number three. All right. So, look, you're going to do some soul searching. You're going to kind of dig down deep, try to think about what you want to accomplish and set a goal for yourself. You're going to put together some action plans and things that you're really committed to. But when And how are you going to do these things? Well, I'm going to make it super easy for you. So this week, I'm going to send out a remind message that's going to have a link to like a Google form, a Google Doc, which will give you a place to write down what your goal is. Like, think about it. You're going to have to really think about this. You're going to have to do some soul searching. It's time to grow up. It's time to be a young adult and not just a little kid and start to, take control of your own life, have a goal. We'll give you a place to write down a couple of action plans. We'll also give you a space that it's like, if I'm struggling for a goal or an action plan and you really need help from your coaches, we'll have a little place where you can check off a box that says, like, yeah, I think I know what my goal is, but I'm struggling with the action plans, or I can't come up with anything either way, one way or the other. We can help you. But again, remember that you've got other resources to reach out to, especially your teammates, especially the teammates that have been around for a while, because they are a great source of information and ideas and all that kind of stuff for you. But other, you may have a sister or brother who are really accomplished at something, sports or other kinds of things, your parents and all that other sort of stuff. I just want to highly encourage you to participate. Please do this. I think it's very valuable for young people like this to be able to start to do things and think about goal setting in ways to where it's like, what's my objective? How am I going to get there? How do I keep myself on track for this kind of thing? Because that's going to help you out. It's definitely going to help you out in your academic life, in your professional life as that kind of moves forward and all this other kinds of stuff. If you start to develop these kinds of skills now, as a young person, it's going to be a breeze when you get into situations later on in your life where you're going to need to lean into these kinds of activities and build those kinds of skills. So that's it. Number three is be on the lookout for a remind where you get a chance to put these things on paper. Because once they're on paper, they become real. They become a real thing. All right, that's it. Bye.